get what I get, but I might complain a bit. A super sweet thing just happened. I was in the elevator going to my car. Thank goodness I remember where it was parked this time because I didn't mark it down again. Apparently didn't learn from last time. Anyway, in the elevator, a lady was like, "Thank you for being a flight attendant." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." And I didn't know how else to respond. And she was like, "I know that you probably have to deal with a lot of like, you know, ridiculous passengers and you have such a small workspace and this, that, and the other. You sacrifice a lot of things to be at work." And I was just like, thanks. I don't work until tomorrow, but that's true. Thank you. I like made me like so emotional, emo, just to be thanked for doing my job, and dealing with crazy people. Thankfully, every day is not that crazy, but it could. I know that in the past it has been worse, so it could be worse one day. Hopefully not. But it was just really nice for them to be appreciative of that. I am on reserve starting tomorrow. There are no trips in there to self-assign. No one asked me for my reserve block this week. I think everybody is officially on spring break. What can I do for you tonight?
I was wondering if you could dedicate
officially on spring break in Chicago, I believe. So that's kind of why like no one wants to work, and that is fine. But anyways, so now I'm stuck potentially working my on-call block, and there are no trips to self-assign, which sucks. So we're gonna see what happens. Well, I just checked before I drove to my crash pad, and there was a nice trip in there, but somebody who already had a trip traded theirs for it. So that's fun. I couldn't self-assign it anyway because there's not enough trips in open time right now to self-assign. It's a whole shenanigan, but you have to have a certain number of trips. So I'll get what I get, but I might complain a bit. So I wanted to explain something really quick. An on-call reserve, on-call block is basically they get to call you if they need you to step in for somebody who called out sick or got stuck in traffic, is going to be late or whatever. Or they have these extra trips that no one has been assigned to yet. And you kind of just get used that way. But when you are on call, depending on the type of on-call you're on, it's complicated, you can assign yourself a trip from the trips that they are going to assign to people anyway. But for my specific on-call block, I had to assign a trip that started before 5 a.m. So if a trip starts at 5, 6, whatever, I can't self-assign it. But if there is one that's like at 4:50, I could self-assign it. But there's also, you know, ways to make sure that you're getting the most money for the most bang for your buck in the system. So there's certain trips I would assign and would not self-assign, and that kind of thing. So at this time, there was a trip at 4:50 available, but then somebody traded in their trip that reported later for that trip, so I couldn't self-assign anymore. Just to clear that up. Long, complicated. I still don't get it sometimes. Yeah, that's what was happening. So I ended up being able to self-assign a trip. I'm going to New Orleans and St. Louis. And I think I have a longer overnight in New Orleans than St. Louis, but it's fine. I don't know where I'm staying in St. Louis. I don't think I have a long enough overnight there yet to like go explore, but I am at one of my favorite hotels in New Orleans, so I'm excited about that. I only have I have a 19-hour layover, and it's an AM trip, and we're staying at my the nice hotel, which usually on the AM trips you stay at the hotel that's closer to the airport, which just sucks, but this one's like downtown in the hubbub of everything, and I'm yay. So we get to do that, and then I don't know what we'll get into in St. Louis. There's only 16 hours over there, which is not that bad, but still not as long as my New Orleans. So I'll probably do something in New Orleans, maybe stay more chill in St. Louis. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm excited. I got a trip. It's not the A position, but it is the D position, and it pays more than what I would have gotten just sitting here waiting for something. So that's perfect. I just had a jump scare thinking I overslept. And I actually woke up 10 minutes earlier than my alarm. It is 3:30 in the morning. Let's go to work. I just debated with myself about going to get breakfast because I have plenty of time right now. But the reality is I packed so much food and I meal prepped so much stuff in my lunch bag. I have oatmeal. I have 2 breakfast burritos. I have yogurt. I have like so many, and a chia and mango and something bowl. I don't need to go get breakfast somewhere. And I have plenty of food, but I am going to get a specific food item in New Orleans if my trip allows, and I am so stoked about it. So tune in for that. We're gonna put on 2 different eye creams because one isn't enough. One is caffeinated eye cream, one's a brightener. Okay, needed at these early wake up calls. You know what else is helpful though? In my crash pad, there's multiple people coming and going, so I never know if somebody comes in while I'm sleeping. And so I hate the idea of potentially snoozing an alarm and it going off again and waking somebody else up just because I'm tired. It's also good for you to not snooze your alarm. It's better for your body and your like psyche to not hit snooze, even though it is so tempting and hard to not sometimes. But yeah, so that's helpful to not let me hit snooze because I'm aware of the other people in the building, and the walls aren't that thick, so I'm like, if I hit snooze and I hear it, they're probably gonna hear it, even if it's like under my pillow or whatever. So that does help in this scenario, because I feel like if I was at home at my base and I was in my own little bed, I might hit snooze more than I do. The position I get to work today, they call the princess position because I have no checks. I basically just show up, have to arm my door, and then I have to count people sometimes. Today I'm gonna have to count people. That's all I do. Unless there's an emergency, and then I do a lot more.
This facing view before. Open these suckers up. Oh, I get a little nice view of the water. Where's the... There we go. Look at that. Cute.
But anyways, I'm about to get ready to go. out and get myself some beignet fries because it's my favorite thing, one of my favorite things about this overnight. There's also a candy apple place that is just so good. So I'm gonna get a Snickers candy apple from there. I'm gonna go get myself some beignet fries, and I don't know what else we'll get into, but maybe something. We'll see what happens. There's lots to do here. I have time, so let's get ready. Okay, this right here is beignet fries, and I'm dipping it in banana Foster, and then they give fresh cut bananas with it, which is what I'm eating right now. Oh my gosh, life-changing. Oh, my hair is crazy. Almost just fell off the bed. Okay, so I came on here because well, I'm gonna tell you something. One of my least favorite things about saving money and packing a bag of food is that a lot of the hotels we stay at don't have a microwave in the room or on our floor. So we literally have to take our food down to the lobby, cook it, and then bring it back up here to eat. So I'm about to do that, but I would like to take a shower first because I feel disgusting from the gym. And then I have to, I pack my food in my lunch bag so that I can cook it on the plane. So a lot of my food is in sandwich bags so I can cook it in the coffee pot. So when I have to cook at a hotel, I have to rearrange my whole setup. Like, for example, I'm probably gonna eat my ravioli noodles tonight, but I have 2 servings of ravioli noodles in that microwave dish. So I need to get a Ziploc bag and pull some out so that I can cook it in the coffee pot tomorrow. I mean, mainly just to not cook both meals at one time. So I have to take that out. I have the sauce in a separate little container. So I have to take the sauce out to cook with the noodles. And then I have a sweet potato that I need to cook also, but I'm probably gonna have to eat in the lobby because I'll have to cook the pasta, maybe I can bring one of these cups from my room and I can cook it in that because I have a glass cup, and I can put either the sweet potato or the pasta noodles in here. I might do that. But yeah, limited dishes and food that doesn't mix well together in the dish. Yeah, it's always an adventure, but I am trying to save as much money as possible. So your girl's not gonna buy dinner all the time. I'm gonna bring and eat food from my bag only, except for that gumbo and the beignet fries. That was unbelievable. Would eat it again 10 times if it wasn't as expensive as it was. That was worth it though, worth it. Y'all, just a reminder, I do this to myself because there's two options basically. On average, you, one, don't work, sell all your blocks. So there's actually three options. Sell all your blocks, don't work. If you are going to work, you either work sometimes on average until 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. before you go to bed, or you wake up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. to start your day. So it's either ending your day at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., or starting your day at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., but then ending your day a lot earlier. You just gotta pick what works for you. And for me, I'm much more of an AM because there's not as many delays. There's not as many crazies because they're still kind of in their sleep mode when they get to the airport. They aren't up, at 2 a.m. drinking. Not always. Sometimes they are there. But for the most part, the crazy people happen later. In New Orleans, when I got to my gate that morning, there were like 3 people in the boarding group for the next flight, like the next gate over's flight, and they were all drinking and were definitely drinking from the night before. So hopefully the ops agent noticed that and didn't let them on the plane, but how ironic. The only way to start your day in New Orleans is with a beignet. So I just realized something cute. Facebook reminded me of what I did last year today. And last year today, I was in New Orleans doing exactly what I did 3 days ago in New Orleans. It was really cute. I got the same food. Because I just literally thought about it every single time. Since then, I was like, I have to go back and get this.